Cops see a lot of things on their job. They see the destruction, they see the families, they've been into drug homes, they've dealt with child welfare cases and severe child abuse. But in this case, officers that were there that day said they'd seen nothing as bad as what they did that day. And as prosecutors also told me that they have not seen the abuse this severe in a child that lived. It affected them of what they were seeing. So now let's listen to what police officers that day did see.
We knew he was almost 7, and he looked like he came out of Auschwitz. There's no other way to describe it. And he just weighed nothing. I remember stepping down off the couch and handing him to his grandmother. I don't think about it every day when I wake up, but there are definitely days I do think about it. I think about it when I see my kids, and I can't imagine how anybody could ever do that to somebody they love, let alone a child that they brought into this world.
Seeing that he was just skin and bones, like we discussed earlier, there was no muscle, no meat, no muscle content at all. It was very, malnourished is an understatement. completely. So it was. I'm not a medical doctor, so I wasn't sure what his chances of survival even were. He was very quiet. It was kind of shocking for a 7-year-old, or almost 7, to be in that, I wouldn't say relaxed state, but it seemed like this is something that had happened before to me. This is not something that was or new to him.
I remember seeing Jovi, his feet kind of fell out of the attic space, and then his face kind of peered out, and I took a step back because I remember seeing that first sight. It just didn't seem real. I'd never seen anybody look like that was alive. To me, it looked like something from a history book from, a concentration camp. Just somebody so thin, no muscle tone, basically a skeleton that could move.
I still have a vivid memory of Deputy John Klingsley when he pushed open that hatch to the attic access, and those tiny little legs and feet that plopped down, and John was able to reach up and bring baby G down, that just baby G in John's arms. I just have a vivid memory of that.
Before police could take him down off the attic, before medical personnel could work on him and discover whether he would live through the night, he had to be found. Up in that attic, you think a big attic with trunks and belongings and Christmas decorations. That really wasn't this attic. It's believed that he was on a rafter and he sat there and he waited. But it was conditions. They did not find a blanket, they didn't find toys, they didn't find anything up there. It was where Jovi was amid the construction, the debris, the nails, and the insulation. A child that basically was hidden in plain sight was able to be rescued that day. Prosecutors at that time were looking at the case against his mother, and they knew they had child abuse, they knew they had child endangerment. Those were the first 2 charges, and then they went to attempted second-degree murder.
When I first saw the photo of Jovi, my initial reaction was, oh my goodness, how is this child still alive? It was the worst thing by far that I had ever seen involving a child abuse case. I remember where I was, specifically standing in the office of another one of the attorneys in the office, just thinking, oh my goodness, if this child's mother did this to him, I can't understand, and to this day can't understand how human beings can treat other human beings this way, let alone how a mother does this to her own child. And that's something to this day that still confounds me.
As far as cases go, this was the most serious case of child abuse I have ever seen in my time in this office, absent a child dying. It was a horrific case of abuse and neglect with a child who was malnourished and near death when he was found. So as far as cases go, it was probably one of the most serious cases of child abuse I've ever seen, and one that will stick with me for a very long time.